is the Business Breakfast
on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Then from the stock markets to the car market, because the second-hand car market in particular is booming here in the UAE. We know that because the guys at dubizzle have crunched the numbers and come up with some new research. Joining us in the studio is the content manager for dubizzle, Christopher Milburn. Chris, good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me in.
So what's the top-level conclusion on the second-hand car market here?
Well, the past 2 months have been very interesting. We've seen a surge in demand for electric cars. And, well, it doesn't come as no surprise. Obviously, the government have issued a lot of initiatives where it comes to sustainability and obviously a greener sort of scene for the car industry. So a lot of people now are starting to buy more electric vehicles, which is a big turn, and it's happened over the past 12 months only. Specific models and makes have really worked their way up the order. But the other most interesting point for us so far is the amount of imported vehicles that are being bought online. There is only about, 56% GCC cars that were sold in the last 12 months. That means 44%, if I've got my numbers right there, are imported vehicles.
That's a huge amount.
It really is, because a lot of them would be these electric cars that are being bought in from overseas, where people are buying them.
So what kind of models are people wanting? Because you can buy a Tesla here in the UAE. They've got a dealership here. What are people importing in the grey market that they can't get legit?
Well, it's from independent dealers as such. So they're bringing in models that might not be readily available here or might be coming at a later stage. So there are key models that are SUVs that are being bought in from neighboring countries that offer, let's say, more space compared to some of the other cars that are currently available in the market. So larger SUVs, which are all quite popular as per the report too, because SUVs have always been popular in the region no matter what. Off-roading an electric car, still getting there with that phase. But in terms of the cars that are being bought in, they're more spacious. They have more features that you don't really get into.
Give me an example. Let's name names.
You've probably seen a lot of them out on the road in the past 12 months, and there'll be the the ID series from a German manufacturer.
From Volkswagen?
Yes, that's the one.
So the German, and I have seen quite a lot of those ID electric cars. They're not huge. I mean, they're kind of mid-sized SUVs. I've seen quite a lot on the roads. But are they not bought from Al Nabuda? Are they coming in on the grey market?
They're coming in from the independent market. There's obviously areas in Alawiyah that bring them in, Sharjah as well bring them in. But because of what they offer, people are more inclined to go with those cars. And that's what we've seen move its way up the order as well. So if you look at what we looked at 3 months ago, the third most popular model is completely gone. And now it's the IDs instead that have become heavily sought after.
Okay, so what... With this grey market, and if it's now almost half of the second-hand market in the UAE, I mean, this is not a niche, this is now mainstream. What are the Al Nabudas and the Alpha Tames and the Gargashias and the Altaias of this world thinking or doing about this? Because they've got exclusive rights to import these brands, have they not?
They do, and I think honestly as a platform we're probably not the best person to discuss that point of view, because obviously we act as a platform where the independent dealers, private sellers can list their cars for sale on the platform as such.
Right, okay, fair enough. Now, appreciate you being candid about this one. In terms of financing cars at the moment, what are you seeing? Are people taking loans out to buy cars, or are they just putting down cash? We hear that up to 70% of real estate transactions for residences here in Dubai are cash at the moment. What about the car market?
It's a mix of both, but more towards the financial side of things. So obviously it is somewhat easier to obtain the car that you want to buy via a bank loan. Not everyone has cash readily available. You're not walking around with thousands in your pocket at any given time. So we've seen that a lot of people are swinging more towards bank loans. And this has evolved in the past couple of years as well.
But will the banks finance, back to your point about 44% of cars being on the grey market, will a bank finance that type of car?
From our understanding, it is possible. You can get bank loans on imported vehicles, but this obviously varies from banks to banks.
Right, okay. What are you seeing in 2023? Crystal ball time.
Probably more of a surge in electric cars, I think, because, again, the sustainability initiatives of the country plus the incentives that you get for buying electric cars. We're probably going to see more and more people buying them. We're going to see more and more entering the market as well. I mean, if we look at what's to come in the next 12 months in terms of manufacturers, there's a lot of interesting cars that will be entering the market, and it kind of diversifies what's actually available. Because at the moment, it's more catered towards sedans and SUVs. We're not getting the ridiculously fast hypercars, supercars, stuff like this. But soon enough, we're looking at 2023, and we're seeing a lot of these models will start entering the market.
Great talking to you. Appreciate your time this morning. Christopher Milburn, social media content manager at dubizzle, their latest research on the second-hand car market in Dubai. It would seem, booming.